Let's play. What's up, guys? Mars here with episode 39 of Minecraft Let's Play series. 39's 11 episodes. I mean, I've mentioned this before. This series will get to like 500, 1,000. It's gonna be awesome. One thing I do want to mention before I go any further, I did say that marching band. Once marching band was over, I'd be having more time to film more content. I don't have time yet. I'll definitely explain why later in the video. But first, I would like to show you guys the changes that I've made. I'm working on a little bit of a project, in the intermission of my last video. And here it is. So that house has transformed into this. You like it? It's pretty cool, actually. I really like this lava. So I really like working with lava when it comes to construction. Not so much water, but lava definitely. Lava usually because it lights up. And so if you have lava throughout something you build, it's much better. Of course, I expanded into a little basement. Every area on this house is exactly the same size as everything else. So it's good. And then you've got like little glass features and little symbols up here. I was thinking of shoving water down these 4 holes, but that got a bit too complicated. You know. So it's all good. I'm not sure how to expand it. You know. I was thinking of ending it here, but also I'd like to go higher. I'd like to go much, much higher. But there's also the fact that I need to build a wall around this entire area. This entire flattened sort of area. So that's also something I need to do. I also need to capture more land. Not really capture, but like bring under my own rule more land, because all of this land out here is just kind of chilling. Nothing's really happening. I did chop down all the trees forever ago, but I'd like to claim all this for myself. Pretty much right up to these mountains over here. And then build something on the mountain to kind of connect them to one of those buildings. Like you see, I'd build something probably on top of that, connect it on the surface to those two places. Maybe using huge glass tunnels, and then from there, I can sort of do whatever I'd want to do. So I definitely need to level the world a little bit. That'd be nice. It is kind of annoying when I come out here and I just see still all of this is just wild. It's annoying, but it's also kind of shows how insignificant I still am 40 episodes into the world. Simply because I don't build a lot of stuff above ground. You guys have been watching me over the last few episodes. I've been working a lot underground. So what I need to do now is put more emphasis on the above ground situation. What I've been doing the last few days. Oh, there's a new channel that I found recently. I think I just like rediscovered it. Actually, before I mention that one, I want to mention another one. CinemaSins. This guy's really, really funny. Um, Basically, I don't know the guy's name, but the channel name's called CinemaSins. Takes a movie and basically points out all of the quote sins in it. Now, this can be from just things in the movie that are just serve as plot conveniences, or just funny criticisms and things that the guy can point out. Makes for a really entertaining video, honestly. And it takes Harry Potter, a series that I love, and really points out some of where J.K. Rowling was just like, "Ooh, let me have this go here. Let me have this be used for this purpose." What am I trying to think of? Um, I don't know. There was a very, very good example brought up, and I can't remember what it was. I'm trying to remember. I don't know. But yeah, do go watch them all. It's Harry Potter, Sorcerer's Stone, or Philosopher's Stone if you're in England, through Order of the Phoenix. Actually, speaking of England, I had a friend from England a little while ago named Amy. Me and her talk. I had met her over the summer, and me and her were talking a little bit. She hasn't responded recently. She's like blocked me from her life. I just wanted to complain about that for about 10 seconds. She seemed like a really cool person. You know. And of course, people who are watching this and have heard me describe countless people like this, they're gonna be like, "Oh, it's just one of those people. It's another one of those people." And I'm not 100% sure what someone means by that. People say that I flirt with everybody a lot. So, I don't know. I apologize for caring, you know, and all of that. But I do also notice that you can't trust a lot of people. I've sort of learned that over the past year and a half. It's interesting. It's very interesting what certain people claim when you're around, and then the second you leave, they're like, I can mess it up this way, and this way, and this way, and this way. And it's just, it's interesting, but at the same time, it's like, why do you bother messing with everything? Why do you want to ruin other people's lives, essentially, is the question. Um, to answer, we go to Donald Trump. No. Speaking of Donald Trump, actually, he was on one of the top 10 lists they did. I think top 10 basically people who were known for being jerks. Kanye was on there. Um, I never had like a personal issue with Kanye West. Um, I enjoyed one of his songs a little while ago. Stronger. I listened to that song before I knew who it was by, and I enjoyed it. You know, if when I didn't know who the song was by, I genuinely enjoyed it. When I figured out, I quickly stopped listening to it. Why did I enjoy it? Well, that's probably a question that some people are asking because people think they know my style of music, and I throw something like that at them, and they're like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, slow down a little bit." Um, in case you guys don't know, I try to listen to all different kinds of music because you sort of gain connections through music, but at the same time, music can sort of cause you to evolve as a person. And I'm not saying that, like Chris Brown, who was also on that list, I'm not saying his song International Love causes a human evolution. I'm just saying that it exposes you to different things that you wouldn't normally be exposed to anyway. Which is also why censorship is a bad thing. I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, no, music is usually got to bring people together, but every once in a while it's used to divide people apart. Which is again very interesting how that sort of works. This most current generation, with their sort of musical revolutions of rap, pop, etc., have really disgusted the older population, and so separated the two generations. Has it disgusted me a little bit? Yeah. Honestly, when people just start rapping about the p word and the n word and all that stuff. See, I don't even say those words. If you're wondering, if you want to specifically know what it is, the p word is a 5-letter word. The n word is a 6-letter word. Also, if you're watching this outside of the U.S., like in England or something, the n word might not exist for you because I've know like if you go to other countries, it's just the culture. I mean, England is a good example. They don't have sort of the same. They don't have the same history of slavery that the U.S. does. Very interesting. Very interesting. Where they just sort of they're just like I mean not like but it's just like they don't have the same way that blacks gained sort of their I don't want to say independence, but like how they gained sort of the social recognition that they deserved, but how they sort of gained it was much different in both of the countries. And then it gave us will.i.am. No, who was also on that list. I think will.i.am was on that list. Um, I don't know. Maybe he was on the list for one of the top 10 most hated songs or something. Which number was number one on the top 10 most hated songs? I can't remember. I remember like number two was Friday. Yeah, remember that song? That's a fun song actually. That's like I want to say it's 2011. No, maybe 2010. I don't know. The last few years of YouTube history have sort of been muddled for me. I mean, you guys have heard me go on and on and on and on and on about YouTube history, and I'm not going to get into it now because you guys are probably sick and tired of hearing about it. But I'll say again, YouTube is a big part of my life. It has been for the past 5 years. So yeah, um, it's just it's part of who I am, or as Katy Perry would say, it's part of me. This is the part of me that you'll never ever take away from me, or whatever the heck the line is. I think that's what it is. I listened to the song for a little while. I remember back when it was released, people were trying to get it, I think, banned. As they said, it promoted the military. First of all, why is that an issue? Second of all, if it does, it only does because you defined it as such. I love using that loophole. But what's the issue with promoting the military? See? What's the issue? I don't know, I guess a lot of people are just against the military. I personally am not. I actually had a discussion with someone about this, I think about a year ago now. And I said that my only issue with the U.S. military, or being in the U.S. military, I could never do it. I'm not like the brave person that can fight for their country. Like, of course, if you tell me to do it, I'm gonna go do it. But I cannot be in a military situation, like in World War II or something. I could not do that for a prolonged period of time, without losing like some mental sense. Because I don't do well with death in the first place, which is weird because I play video games. But killing people is it's not what I want to do, and I don't believe that anyone who fights in the military wants to do it. It's just it's tough. As a guy who always tries to search for peace, it's tough. But human nature will never be truly peaceful. It's kind of the way we are. Which again is fine. We're just kind of that way, but it would be a lot better if everybody got along, you know. But again, greed gets people. But I'm always annoyed when someone brings up that argument. Oh, greed is bad because it kills people. At the same time, people kill people. Like it's the same thing as saying cars kill people. No, people kill people. Same thing with guns. Guns don't kill people. People kill people. Video games. People. You get the point though. The people still kill the people, whatever influence they may or may not have had. Is there mind control stuff? Yes. I'm not going to try and deny that for a second. Is that what we're talking about now? So, continuation from there. And of course, I have been hesitant to bring these topics up. Even though I did say this could be a very radical channel, I've tried to not do it because people get really, really upset. Like when I was talking about Skillet a while ago. Someone corrected me, very kindly. That was Coda, who was just like, hey, they are this, they're not what you thought that they were. And I'm like, okay. And then someone else, a little while later, comes up swearing at me, basically, that I'd gotten a little detail of their favorite band wrong. I'm just like, okay, take a deep breath, calm down a little bit. I think I had basically said that I didn't know what they were, and I had thrown out the phrase heavy. I had thrown out the phrase metal, I think, but that I then said that I did not think that they were. Christian rock, I think, is what it was eventually determined. I still listen to them today. I was listening to them in the car. Do I have any songs? No, actually, I don't. That's a lie. I was. Oh, yeah, but I do listen to them on occasion. What else I do as far as music? Actually, not a lot of people bother to remember my favorite song. My favorite song was by a band called Five for Fighting, which I think one, two, maybe three people of this audience have heard, and you guys know who you are. It's called 100 Years. I don't know why it's my favorite song. It's just a song that I've been listening to, and I never have an issue with listening to for the past like 6 or 7 years. And for me, it's basically the message of the song is essentially you only have a certain amount of time. You know. But that's sort of the message of all songs like that. But I don't know. I just really enjoy the song. I have to sort of get in my head a definite meaning of it. I just don't have it right now. But yeah, no. Again, listen to all kinds of music. I mean, I remember one time I was listening to Wiz Khalifa. I was the guy singing "Roll Up." I'm not really singing, more like rapping. But that's what I was doing. And people found it really odd. People were like, what is this? What they viewed as a white nerd guy doing, singing, rapping about a car and doing drugs every weekend. I've never done drugs, as far as people know, but I'm kidding. Um, it just doesn't come across to be me being that type of person, and then me like singing like Young, Wild, and Free. It's just kind of odd. There's another freaking. Yeah. That's another thing with clearing out these areas is that you reveal a lot of dirt. So if the creepers get really low, they can just blow everything up. They can do that anyway, but this especially. What was I gonna say? Oh, something I realize that I'm a big magnet of. I do want to talk about this a little bit because it is kind of sad. Something that people will experience in high school. It doesn't really matter who you are, there will be one made about you at some point. Rumors. Apparently, being nice in high school creates rumors. Um, Basically supporting people, you know? Dude, skeleton, leave me alone. I'ma get you. I'ma get you. No. But yeah, no, it's people like to spread rumors. Am I sure why? No. I have absolutely no idea. It's just something that people like to do. I'm gonna get him to blow up this little area. Yeah, no, it's something that people like to do. I don't know, maybe in their pastime or like as revenge. And then I think I had someone within the last few days come yell at me because they thought the rumors were true. And they were like, I thought you were better than this and whatnot. I told them that the rumors weren't true and they shortly blocked me on Facebook after that. But, you know, at some point you've got to turn off the caring and you've just got to be like, okay, whatever. Life goes on. And that's just sort of, I eventually am going to hit that point. I don't know when. But I don't know. I've just been sort of that caring person my whole life. And since that's been taken advantage of so much, I guess I'm starting to get sick of it. I don't know. It's tiring being me. I was that guy last year that was like up all night talking to people. I was, there for people I probably shouldn't have been there for. Trying to support everybody at once. Eventually, someone told me, Josh, you gotta stop. You're gonna kill yourself. I think to which I responded, there are many things worse than death. It was really a morbid response. The problem is it's true. Like there are a lot worse things that can happen to you than dying. I was gonna say dying without being remembered. A lot of people like to be remembered. I don't have to be remembered. I just have to be able to help somebody. I've got to be able to improve someone's life somehow. That's just sort of what I always try to do. Make someone feel happier about this. I was talking to someone yesterday, and I was just basically asking them why are girls so self-critical, and she had no answer for it. That's sort of what I noticed is that girls are very, very critical of themselves. Even the amazing ones, like the ones I talk about on here, they just continue to bash themselves. And then when I say no, you're not like that, you're actually like this, and it's a compliment, they just give me a little weird look and say you're flirting with me or something like that, and just walk away. Whatever floats your boat, but come on, realize the brilliance. Before you guys ask, no, Coda was not one of those people. I feel like people like make assumptions during these videos. I'm just throwing that out there. It was not this person. It's gotta be safe, gotta fully explain. I saw a zombie walk by the window. I swear I did. Oh my god. Okay. Again, working out leveling the land is not the most interesting thing in the world, but it's gonna be a project that takes a while. Um, Trying to think here. Episode 40 will be out on Sunday. Episode 41 will be that Wednesday. So that Wednesday is the day before the senior board, which if you guys don't know, it's basically a senior project. You have to give a 10-minute speech, and you have to develop a product or show some proof of community service or something that has to do with your topic. My topic, of course, is violence in mass media. There's the thing I saw earlier. specifically violence in video games and how it does not affect violence in children. Like, people have this common belief that if you play violent video games, you will develop into a violent person and do crimes. That's not entirely true, and I'm trying to prove that's not true. I actually want to get into that a little bit because it is a fun topic to debate about. I always win, but because I'm right. I'm kidding. Um, but usually it is the adult community, 40, 50 or older, who simply do not understand video games that make that argument in the first place. They also don't blame movies. They blame video games more than they blame movies. It's weird. It's like movies are basically the same thing. If you blame one part of the entertainment industry, you might as well try to blame the entire entertainment industry. Okay? I do get a little bit defensive about that because video games, again, are a big part of my life. I've been playing for 12 and a half years. While watching WatchMojo.com, I was like, oh, maybe I'm not as much of an expert in video games as I thought I was. Because there were a lot of video games on those lists that I never heard of. For the best games of, sent different decades or different consoles, I had heard about every single game, played almost every single game on those lists. But as far as some of the worst games, some of the weirdest games, etc., I had not. So, whatever works. But, yeah, no, people come to me all the time and ask me why I play Minecraft all day. Because a lot of people don't get it anymore. A lot of people just look at Minecraft and just go, okay, this is a waste of time. What are my goals here? What am I trying to accomplish? And it's like, you're not really trying to accomplish any certain goal. Your basic goal is to survive, but past that, it's all you. It's all whatever you want to do. As that song said, it's your world, your way, you do it, or whatever the heck the words are. But it's how you want to live your life in Minecraft almost. And I'm really excited when I get to play Minecraft with somebody because how they play really says a lot about themselves. You know, I think Plato might have said it, but an hour of play is more showing of a person's character and more showing of who a person is rather than a year of conversation. What that implies is that action speaks louder than words, which is what a lot of people have been saying over the past few centuries. Do I agree with that? Yes and no. Yes, because obviously if you're going to take an action, it's a lot more important than simply saying you're going to take that action. But at the same time, depending on the action, because if you take a negative action towards somebody, you're going to say that speaks louder than words. Not always, because your actions are not always logically based. It's also based on emotions, based on, thinking in a split second, etc. So you're always going to find outliers of the established rule. Which is why human nature is a lot of fun to study. It's a lot of fun to sort of toy around with and see how different people are going to react in different situations. I'm obviously probably talking you guys' ears off right now. But hey, welcome to my videos. I certainly do enjoy filming all these videos. I know I say that almost every single time. And people enjoy watching them. For those few people who have watched every single episode and have sat through this whole thing so far, thank you. And I do say this a lot, but I wouldn't be anywhere without you. And it just, because I grew up watching YouTube content and I wanted to be like these guys who have these communities of just hundreds of thousands of people that they can talk to and they can converse with and they can connect with. And it's just a really awesome feeling to have that. If you don't have that, you're sort of missing out a little bit. You don't know what it's like, and I feel sorry for that person. For someone who says that it's not worth it, for someone who says that you don't need people, I also feel sorry for you because you do need people. Those introverts out there, and I know there's at least one who I really like. She's not getting too far. We've been talking over the past few months just about how she views people and how she views relationships. And she just doesn't have emotional feelings for anybody. It's a very interesting concept to study. Um, it's just it's really cool to meet people who are not exactly like yourself, because then you start to learn what makes people different, and sort of you also meet people who you want to be like, but then you also meet people who you don't want to be like. Cat would be a good example of someone you want to be like. And then, say, I can't think of a good example of somebody I want to be like. Oh, Michael Moore. How about that? You don't want to be like him. Of course, I'm going to get flack for saying that, but it's just the first person that popped in my head. Leave me alone. Why am I sounding tired? Well, I've been filming for almost half an hour now. I had 2 failed attempts earlier. So, but again, it's a lot of fun. It's, for people who say that it's just talking to yourself and all of that, yeah, it is, but at the same time, you're communicating with people who you hope you can communicate with for much longer. I've also said to a lot of people, I hope these videos I make can sometimes be my way of communicating with someone, even if I can't really communicate with them. Like, if I can't talk to them at the particular moment, I hope that they would watch these videos and still feel comforted that someone cares about them out there. 'Cause sometimes it's all you need. So, that's just sort of my thought process on that one. I'm really gonna have to work a long time clearing this area out. I'm just sort of realizing that. It's gonna take me a while. But yeah, no, if I can clear out the way all the way to the mountains, or at least level it out to a point where I can build accurately, then that'd be good. That'd be really good for me to be able to do. Just sort of zoning in a little bit on this, trying to get all this done. See, this is the part where you had where you wish you had world edit, right? Yeah, I wish I do have world edit. Did have world edit. What is world edit? Basically, it's a chain of commands you can type in, and you can just kind of edit the world in a massive scale. There's crats in a block you want to remove. Just type in, I think it's /Z on one corner, /Z in another corner. I think you can fill it with air blocks or something and delete all the blocks. Or you can fill it with one block and then another block, and it just fills that area with blocks. So, there's that. I got all that, leveled. Got this built. And, honestly, that's about it. We did a bunch of logistics stuff. I sort of went over everything. So, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed watching episode 39 of a Minecraft Let's Play series. One last thing I do want to talk about, taking the SAT on Saturday. So I'll talk about how that goes. Let's talk about like tips on how to take the SAT and then how to not take the SAT. There's one girl I know specifically who struggles just to hell with this for whatever reason. That's just kind of how she is. I'm not gonna say what I got. It's a really bad score. It's 1700 and above. That's pretty bad for me. Anyway, thank you guys for watching episode 39, and I'll see you guys this coming Sunday for episode 40 of my Minecraft Let's Play series. Let's stop.